What's going on, everybody? Welcome on in the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman. Now, coming up on today's show, I actually want to take a look at other teams in the NFC North, specifically the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears, and just dive into all of their training camp news and notes and talk about how that impacts the Minnesota Vikings. Then a lot of people have been asking, will we see a lot of J.J. McCarthy during the preseason? Well, Vikings insider Ben Goessling actually had a clutch update on that. So we'll share with you guys all the info you need to know. But everybody, training camp is here. You can just smell football season is just around the corner, and we are ramping up our coverage here on the channel. So hit that subscribe button today. Do not miss a thing around your favorite football team. If we could somehow hit 58K before the season, I would greatly appreciate it. So if you guys are new here, have not subscribed to the channel just yet, change that. Hit that subscribe button. All right, we're going to start off with the Green Bay Packers. Now, what's going on in Green Bay? You know, they had an interesting offseason. They, in my opinion, overpaid for a couple of offensive linemen. They finally drafted a wide receiver in the first round, but they also let go of Jair Alexander. And that caused a massive hole at the cornerback position. And the good old smart football minds over there in Green Bay, this is what they decided to do. Gutekunst says Bo Melton will mostly play at corner and switch to number 16. If you guys don't know, Bo Melton was a wide receiver. He actually had a game against the Vikings. He had 100 yards and a touchdown. So he's going to be playing corner here for the Green Bay Packers, which is pretty damn funny. But this was actually what Brian Gutekunst had to say on Bo Melton, saying Bo is going to spend most of his time at corner. I think we switched his number to 16 because that looks a little bit better than 80 he was running out there at camp. He'll spend most of the time, especially these first 3 or 4 weeks, at corner. And it's not even like I blame the Packers for trying to figure out this cornerback situation because this room is ugly. Keyshawn Nixon, Nate Hobbs, Javon Bullard at the nickel. Like, those are just rotational backup cornerbacks for most teams. And the Packers are asking a lot of these guys. Now, I wouldn't think this is a massive issue for Green Bay if they're playing in any other division besides the NFC North. But look at those 3 corners you see on screen, and now look at the 6 wide receivers they're going to have to play 6 times this season. Obviously, we know we got what we got going on in Minnesota. You got number 18, Jefferson. You got number 3, Jordan Addison. 2 studs. But even the Chicago Bears, they got a good wide receiver duo. DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, and then the Detroit Lions. Got to give credit to them. They got Amon-Ra and Jamison Williams. So, honestly, when I saw that Bo Melton report, I just thought it was kind of funny. I wouldn't anticipate him getting any real reps this season at the cornerback position, but they're trying everything. It kind of says they're already hitting the panic button a little bit, but just want to get you guys updates there out of Green Bay, and we got a lot more to get to here. Ryan Wood coming in, saying Gutekunst says Christian Watson's rehab from his torn ACL is going great this offseason. He's a freak. He did a run test the other day and looked great. It's an ACL, so we're going to take our time with him, but he's pressing to get out there. Now, people are assuming that Christian Watson will be back around week 9 or week 10 this season, so we'll probably see him twice. But still, that could be a big loss for the Packers offense. But there's even more injury news here. Quay Walker underwent surgery that Gutekunst called a cleanup. It stemmed from an ankle injury, but isn't expected to miss too much time in camp. Quay Walker, huge part of that defense. He is that glue at the linebacker position. And also Ryan Wood saying this on Elton Jenkins. Apparently he is dealing with a back injury. He says Jenkins has made clear once the back issue is over, he's ready to be on the practice field as the Packers' new center. So obviously Green Bay dealing with some injuries, and kind of feel a little lucky that the Vikings are as healthy as they are right now. Obviously you still have Christian Darrisaw working back, Rondell Moore, Will Fries, Gavin Bartholomew popped on PUP, but nothing too serious. So speaking about the Green Bay Packers, best part of last season, besides the Vikes winning obviously 14 games, was sweeping up that team in Wisconsin. So if you guys want the Vikings to sweep the Green Bay Packers again, hit me with a skull down below in the comments section. I'll say this. I better see 1,000 skulls on today's video. So if you guys want the Vikings to sweep the Packers again, hit me with a skull down below. Now we'll talk about the Chicago Bears and J.J. McCarthy here in a second. But I got to tell you guys about a new product we have here at Vikings Now by Chat Sports, and that is Daily Greens by Factor Form. If you guys head to factor75.com/VikingsChat, we'll hook you guys up with 40% off plus free shipping on your first order. Now, I have tried green supplements in the past, and I swore I was never going to try them again until I tried Factor Form's Daily Greens. Now, most of us dread drinking greens, but Factor Form changed the game. You actually crave your greens, and as the sister brand to Factor Meals, Factor Form was designed to work hand in hand with your meals, making better nutrition effortless. Daily Greens is a greens powder by Factor Form you look forward to drinking. Just one scoop. Delivers 100% of your daily nutrients, filling nutrient gaps, supporting whole body health, and helping you feel your best. With a refreshing, citrusy, clean, and smooth taste, it's actually enjoyable to drink. Mix a single-serve pack in water, and you're good to go. And my favorite part of Daily Greens, it ranked #1 in taste, texture, and aroma, beating out the biggest names in the industry. So start your day right with Daily Greens by Factor Form at factor75.com/VikingsChat to get 40% off plus free shipping. That's factor75.com/VikingsChat for 40% off plus free shipping. Hit that link in the comment section and description of today's show, factor75.com/VikingsChat. All right, let's talk about the Chicago Bears. What's going on in Chicago? Dive into some of the news, notes, and takeaways from day one of their training camp, and it's a little hectic. Casey Carlson tweeting this out, saying Bears training camp practice #1, no sign of rookie wide receiver Luther Burden. Now, when we were really in the dog days of the offseason, on the back half of a show, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I was saying random NFL predictions. One of my random predictions was that Luther Burden was going to cause some drama in that Chicago locker room. Not saying this is him causing drama. This is one step in the right direction, but also the first rep of 11 on 11, Caleb Williams was picked off by Tremaine Edmonds. Now, again, I'm not going to overreact to the first play in the first rep for Caleb Williams at 11 on 11 practice, but still, it's definitely something to note. And then apparently Ben Johnson yelled, "You're out," when Caleb Williams and the first team offense couldn't get lined up properly in 7 on 7, which definitely a little interesting. Totally different vibe there in Chicago compared to Matt Eberflus last year. I think they're going to be a scrappy team. Will they compete to win the NFC North title? I don't think so, but definitely some interesting stuff going on in Chicago. Now, this last line, Ozzie Trapillo, he started at left tackle, and the Bears are actually having a left tackle competition right now between these three guys. Braxton Jones, solid offensive tackle, dealing with some injuries right now. And they got Ozzie, who they drafted in the second round, and then Karan Amengaji. If you guys remember, Karan was the guy that started the second time the Vikings played the Bears on that Monday Night Football game, and Grenard completely smoked him on a move. He had the strip sack on Caleb Williams, but I'll tell you what, definitely not good that you're having a left tackle competition. I know this Bears offensive line is getting all types of hype, but they're going to have to get chemistry. They're going to have to get continuity with each other, and if you're having a left tackle battle when that's all going on, it's just definitely not a positive thing. Is it the end of the world for the Bears? Absolutely not, but just want to get you guys updates there. And Caleb Williams is actually talking about his goals for 2025. He's got some lofty goals here. He wants to be the first Bears quarterback ever to throw for 4,000 yards. Now, if I remember, Bears fans were saying this was a guarantee last season. Did not end up happening, but he also wants to complete 70% of his passes, which, in that Ben Johnson offense, I will say is very gettable for Caleb, but that's what he was saying in a press conference recently. But let me ask you guys this. Do the Chicago Bears scare you? Every offseason, they get hyped up. People were saying they're going to win the Super Bowl last year, in the first year Caleb Williams starting. They don't scare me one bit. The Vikings have actually played very well in Chicago. I think we've won 4 straight games in Chicago in 4 straight seasons. I think we're like 7-1 against the Bears over the last 4 years. They don't really scare me. I think they're more of a fugazi instead of a real football team. But I think the Vikings should handle them twice this season. But, hey, be honest with me. If you're buying into the Bears offseason hype, let me know. Do the Chicago Bears scare you? Y for yes, N for no. All right, let's talk about the preseason to close out today's show. So Ben Goessling, lead Vikings beat reporter, said, I think there's a good chance he plays in that one. Talking about the Houston Texans game 1 of the preseason. But then he added in this note. He's not going to play against the Patriots in the second preseason game. So if I was calling the shots, and if I was Kevin O'Connell, and I was orchestrating how we will use J.J. McCarthy in the preseason, I would play him the whole first half versus the Houston Texans. Biggest reason, he needs the reps. He needs to get comfortable with that first-team offense. Now, also, I don't think that means you should go throw out, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison out there. you can still go with the backup wide receivers, but I would like to have that first team offensive line out there with J.J. Now, obviously, Christian Darrisaw won't play, so you just plug in swing tackle Justin School, but I want to see Donovan Jackson, Ryan Kelly. If Will Fries is ready to go, put him out there, and Brian O'Neill. Just give J.J. a whole first half versus the Houston Texans, and then if he looks good, you shut him down for the rest of the preseason. Now, ideally, I would love for the Vikings to run J.J. for all 3 preseason games, but also we can call it like it is. He got hurt in last year's preseason. You obviously want to get him the reps, but you also don't want to be too risky in doing that. So it's a tricky situation for Kevin O'Connell to navigate, but give him the whole first half versus the Houston Texans. If he looks good, then you can shut him down. But what do you guys think? How many games should J.J. McCarthy play in the preseason? I think just a half is fine. I know obviously as fans we would want him to play a whole lot more, but I'll just go half a game for this one. But hey, you guys let me know. How many games should J.J. McCarthy play in the preseason? I'm going to know your thoughts in the comments section. Now, if you guys also want to hit me up on Twitter, I'll be posting about Vikings training camp, this whole Vikings team, all offseason long. So that's a handle, @PatSieps. The link's in the comment section and description of today's show. But we appreciate all of you guys watching. As always, Skol Vikes.